Okay, where's Mendes? There you go. I can see you in the instance. Okay, are you coming back? Coming back? Boink. Hey.
It's flooding.
Yeah, we're staring into the mirror.
Oh,
Hi.
that's awesome.
Yeah. I
But you guys
cloned April's avatar. I'm gonna go back to my demonic avatar. I think some of them
Nice to
are
meet you. My name is April.
Oh, nice to meet you.
nice. Yeah, I think you might not might not met on the events because I remember that I've met April more often in different events, right? April, did you come to Theory of Everything more often, or have I seen you in some other spaces?
I came to Theory of Everything often.
Nice.
Then I
Yeah.
stopped coming. But I got a boyfriend. I stopped coming.
There you go.
And
Relationships.
life, right?
Yeah. I think that yeah. 2020 was hard on everybody and social in terms of social interactions, and that's why everybody got into virtual reality spaces and like somewhere online. And then like once the life got back on track, I think people like are not. They say that it's oh yeah, Mylan. I mean, is coming back. So yeah, I think now people are going back to their like normal lives, and that's why VRChat. Like from what I heard from my friends, like there's a metaverse winter basically, like crypto winter used to be in the past. Now we have like very little interaction in. Let's see. Like next month, they say that Apple is going to release the new headset. So many people hope that it's gonna Ooh, nice, good avatar.
Thank you. This one I like because it's PC Quest. The only thing
Both.
is that those hearts, I can't see the hearts.
Ah,
You
really?
can see the hearts, but I
I
can't see
do.
the heart.
Yeah, I can.
Mm.
Interesting. I'm
All I see is
recording, so
boxes. They're
yeah.
all in my face. I'm like, ugh,
Ah,
everywhere.
yeah. VR chat is like it's hard to interact with people, especially wearing like female avatars because of the animation. Like everything is animated, and you're like, okay. Yeah, some of my friends, she had like an avatar of an android, and she had like her boobs were moving all the time, and I couldn't talk to her. Yeah, it's funny how the guys when they have
Yeah.
like female avatars as well, like they're talking to you it seriously with their like low voices, but the avatar is really confusing.
But it's okay though. It's okay. That's a thing. That's a thing around here.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
thing.
Like a new space.
Seriously. No, like okay. See, all right. I don't know if Mylan does it or not, but they collect the girl avatars too. Because like, what if you go on a date and you have a really cool avatar, right? And you see a girl avatar that matches the outfit for the guy. He's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna grab that girl avatar to match my avatar. So when I do bring a girl here, I can say, hey, I have an avatar for you. And then that person could put that on and then they match.
I think
That's all.
mostly they just enjoy it. I know so many guys who just will like constantly wear the anime avatars on like girls, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's just a different culture.
Jay does it, yeah, he likes it.
Yeah. So yeah, about relationships, I just asked this question and Mendes like started answering it. So concerning appearance again, right? In real life, like we were talking about it the other day, and I was wondering about your opinion. Like if you're dating a partner, right, or maybe if you're like married, and what do you think? Is it appropriate for, like, for example, for your partner to look attractive? Mostly, I think this is it concerns mostly guys being worried that their partner is like the girl looks too attractive, like wearing short skirts and something like that. And yeah, I was wondering what's the opinions of people in different situations. What do you think?
Ooh, I got a big one. You wanna go first?
Yeah,
'Cause,
Mylan, do you want to
okay.
answer?
Okay.
Well, from man's perspective, it's all the
Yes.
time jealous based on like losing the partner, but I can't say for female because male uh, can impregnate female at one time, uh, different couple of women at the same time, but women cannot do it, and that's why there's biological like barriers that like, hard to just differentiate that. Like,
Mm-hmm. That's
it's
an
not
interesting
equal
point.
all the time.
It doesn't, but like that's the point. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, April, can you answer first so I can recap everything and just add my opinion?
Okay. Good example. I used to wear a whole bunch of makeup because I'm a diva, right? I love it. I'm a girl. I'm a girly girl for real. For real, for real.
Diva, yeah, that's
Okay?
I like that. I'm gonna steal that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. April,
Yes. A
she says I used.
diva.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I am. And I
Yeah.
lead like this. My boyfriend told me not to wear no more makeup.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You do not need to wear no more makeup." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Mm-hmm.
said. That's what I said. I said, hold on,
That's
wait.
unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I wear it now. You should see where I have on makeup right now.
Yeah, I've seen you. You're
But I
beautiful.
usually don't.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you. But when I'm with him in video, I don't wear.
Mm-hmm.
I get hit on constantly. But he's cute too. So
Mm-hmm.
he gets hit on all the time too. And I don't say anything about it because I love him. I love him for who he is. I fell in love with him for who he is. And I want him to feel the same about me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like, for example, I want to look pretty. You know why? Because I want him to look at me the way he looks at the girls. I caught him looking at other girls through his glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the fucking thing. I was like, nah. So what I did? I went and got pretty and
That's a
put
move,
my...
yo. Can't believe you
Well,
did that.
And it's okay, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a diva. It don't bother me. So I went and got dressed. I actually had on before the video. I got all dressed up. I had on lingerie. You saw what I looked like earlier. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I had lingerie, everything. And then I was like, boop boop. And I said, I accidentally called, not really accidentally, but I called my video and I was like, hey, I was like, oops, my bad. I didn't mean to call you. He goes, what are you doing? I was like, and I pretended like, oh, it was an accident. I was like, what do you mean? I'm sorry. He's like, no. Go to the camera. And I showed him. He goes, damn. Bam. So it is important to wear makeup and look pretty sometimes.
It
You can
is.
lose it.
Yeah, it is true. But at the same time, like I think that Mylin has a point that like that's the primitive instinct that people have. Like, oh, this is mine, this is my partner, and I want everybody to know about it. Like from mostly like it's like I don't know, it's basically like taking the territory and you want that territory to be, you know, shown and like indicated as yours. And I think that's one of the motivations behind it, I guess, because it's like signaling to others that you are not in a relationship, because when you are attractive it's like signaling others that you're in search, and once you get married or have a partner you kind of close that, you know, announcement kind of. And I think that's one of the motivations for boyfriends. And but my point actually was that we are humans, we're not animals, and I think this is one of the signs that these two things are different things. Like the way you look and the way you behave should be considered as two different things. Because for example, if I have a partner and even if he's super attractive and he's like very charming and everything, if I see that his behavior does not cross the border, if he's not flirting with other ladies, that's fine. Like as long as he deserves my trust. And I believe that my partner is able to separate his physical needs and his personality, his human side, which I think if I'm dating this person, if I'm married to this person, well, my husband, I mean that his mental part, like his human part, is higher. His mind is over his body, and that's why I respect him, and I think that he's the best partner, right? So I think that when people say no, you should not wear like short skirts or anything, is trying to double check and trying to, you know, ensure that there's nobody else, looking at your partner, and like she's not, signaling other guys that she's free and like she's, not married or anything. But yeah, it's like a big dilemma. It depends on the society where you are, because like in some societies it's like it's generally more modest, I would say. Like they're not, women, they don't look as attractive as in other societies. So it also depends on the territory where you are and on the situation and the context.
Right. That's very true. I have one question.
Sure.
Do you have a world for your meeting? Because I have 400 that you could choose from.
Yeah, I had like
and I have avatars.
Nice. Let's
Creator, how
yeah.
do I get synced up with you?
Like a meeting place. Would you like a beach? Would you like a what type of setting?
Something sci-fi. You got some sci-fi stuff?
Yeah, actually, I have sci-fi. I have immersive.
Let's do that. How do we do that? Should we just follow you as a friend?
I'm gonna make a portal.
Oh, great.
Or just walk right through. Okay. So let's go ahead, and this is a good one. Good. We'll begin here.
Take us to the worlds of VRChat.
Would you guys like friends plus, meaning your friends, every single person inside of the room? Your friends can join. Would you like me to do that, or would you like to do invite?
Doesn't really matter. I personally don't have that many friends right now online, so like I think we can do both.
Friends.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Portal down yonder. Alright, this is gonna be a treat for you guys.
Okay, just walk into
right
it.
through the door.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice. Nice.
Did you use
Go ahead and
bakery?
jump.
Use what?
What was that?
Did you use bakery to bake the light map?
Oh no, I didn't make this. This was a person from World Beyond a Bit. This is a Japanese creator made by Beyond a Bit member Etsy October Enyo TFT. They are Japanese. They made it. But it's amazing.
Cool.
Outside you can walk at future reference. It's sci-fi out there. You can walk in the grass and it's really cool.
What about
I'm gonna take you guys this way to the foyer.
What about the side? I mean the sound. Like, what if I figured if I walk away, I can't hear you that well. Is there any option, something like a megaphone or anything?
Yes. So you have to click on sound on the bottom. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Click B on your right hand. A menu is going to pop up. On the bottom of your menu, you're going to see a rocket ship, bell, a pin, a camera, and a sound microphone. Click on the sound microphone.
Okay, my menu
That
looks...
is your sound.
Mhm.
It looks different.
Yeah, a threshold.
Look for settings. Do you have settings in your option?
I can
Yeah,
change the
gears.
microphone
Yeah.
activation threshold and like microphone output volume.
Or volume.
Oh, distance as well.
Also, to your make sure your computer volume is turned up as well.
Okay, so it's supposed to be like 10 meters.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2
Testing 1 2 3. Testing.
1 2 1 2.
Guys, come down here. We're gonna come down to the foyer.
Yeah, we'll have to keep together, I guess, to hear each other. Is it okay, comfortable, not too
Stop
loud?
right there at that key.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna stop that key right there.
Let's go ahead and do it.
I think that's supposed to. Come on, guys. Look at the
Oh,
chest.
we just automatically teleport.
Mm.
Look, yes, this is awesome.
That's a cute chest. I can see my breasts of my avatar. Ah, that's funny. Is it dangerous? Why do you keep away from the chest? Is it gonna explode or anything?
No.
Oh my god, Mendes is in the chest.
I am the prize.
Ooh.
Turn up the sound, all you guys, on your headset and on your computer.
Mm-hmm. It's something like a...
Yeah.
Yes, soundscape or something like that, right? Nice. I'm gonna add this world to the favorites. все виртуальной реальности. Впервые за долгое время. VRChat. Тут столько всего интересного. Какие-то прям перформансы музыкальные. Классно. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was fire. That opening was just.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy, did you see all this?
Yeah, sure. That's pretty cool. Like a whole performance.
We can have the meeting here once it's over. It's not over yet.
Yeah, nice. Like I added it to my favorite worlds so I can check them out later. Oh. Second round?
It'll be over in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can have the meeting here. It's a really big area.
Nice.
Really nice. Enjoy.
How do you like it, Mylin?
I love it, but it's too noisy for even.
Yeah,
Hard
yeah.
to just communicate.
Only after it's finished we can talk. Nice. A magic box. Cool, nice. That's a good introduction.
So you can keep this world in your favorites.
Mhm.
And the reason why I brought you here is because you can show this to your clients in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good, this was I want to say a good 6 minutes, a 6-minute set. And then bam, you're in the foyer.
Ah, okay. Returning back. Nice. And you can go outside and check out
Go
the
outside.
yeah, the world. Nice. Like there are 3 authors as far as I checked out, like the Etsy October and then like a shaders master and like designer. Pretty cool.
Yes.
Nice.
So I have other worlds I can take you to, avatars, or did you want, what would you like? I can do whatever you want me to. I can take every you want to. Literally.
Nice. Sounds very attractive. Yeah, let's do that. Why not? We can just explore and I can ask you questions as we go. Like maybe we can do both. You can show us around the worlds and in the meantime I can ask like one question in each location. Okay.
Cool.
So last location was about, appearances, right? And this time let me ask you this. What do you think about child-free families? Mendes, what do you think? You have like how many kids do you have once again? Mendes. Push to talk.
All
Push to
right.
talk.
I was let me see. What do I think about? What was it again?
Do you remember how many kids you have?
Um, so I mean, like, how are we counting these now? Are we counting these like birth children, children claimed as father?
Let's do
Um,
both.
14.
God damn, 14. Every time you said, I ask you, like, it's more and more. You said 10, and now it's 14. Okay, what do you think about child free
I
families?
said 10, trying to be modest, trying to keep the numbers down and stuff.
Yeah, why not? You're doing good at propagating your legacy, I guess. What do you think about the
Appreciate
couples?
that.
Yeah, what do you think about the couples that decide not to have children? And how did you get like to 14 children? You said that godchildren, right?
Right. Um, so how did I get to 14?
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, once you get in a relationship and you get children, don't just leave them behind. Right? So,
Mm-hmm.
um, still consider exes children.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Got you. What about
I
some?
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? What was that?
What do you think about child-free families?
Um, I support the decision not to have children.
Right. Okay. Interesting. What do you guys think, Mylene, April?
Okay. I was raised in a very religious household as a Jehovah's Witness, right? I'm not baptized, I'm not Jehovah's Witness, but I was raised as one baby. And in the Bible, I told my daddy this as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I walked away from the Jehovah's Witness. So mind you, as a kid, I was still Jehovah's Witness when I said this to my daddy. I said, I will never be married. Ever. Because we're not supposed to be. It's in the Bible and the Revelations. So that's what my thought was, right? Then I got out of it. It's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to be married and have children. It's in the Bible to be fruitful and grow. That's what I believe to be true. But
Mm-hmm.
we are in times, and it's not good to have a kid right now. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's selfish because we are really, really, really bad situation. It's not good to get a baby or and all these bad things. These wars are growing. These bad people. I don't want to have no worry about my child danger, my family, my husband, my family, friends. You know, that's just my thought.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, sharing your thought is the most important part of Toe, I guess. It's in our DNA. Mylene, what do you think?
Well, as a male, uh, for almost most of guys, I believe, try to make career to have a proper family, and but at the end, it's all about making a family and populate. But that's what, and I know some folks like I know in a soccer career like football, Kim Jong Un or Son from Korean National League. He's in his 32 and he's not married.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the main reason is just because of the career. Because after this, he's gonna just stop to develop his career, and these kind of stuff. Almost whole nation wanting from him to be a best football player, like win the World Cup for national Korean team for his country. For this kind of pressure, I do support him, but in the end, he's still going to have a family after 40s or after 36. For him, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For male, I believe it's not so matter making a family after 36 as well, but for female it's a problem because uh, at after 35 it's gonna be issue to properly just hold the baby inside the uterus, and that's why for female, for biological constraints, it's it's very good decision, I believe, to just have a kid earlier. Uh, but you know, it, in this case, male needs to support female to have these kind of conditions.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
good
not
question.
easy enough to grow.
Exactly, exactly. It's changing, and I think having children is the concept of having children is different. I agree with April, but it's still at the same time, if you think about it, it's a luxury that we can choose not to have children because in the past, like it's always been dangerous, right? It's like it's been always threatened. You know, like the world has been threatening for the whole history of times, and I think we live in the
And
safest
hormones.
time.
There's been war everywhere, all over.
Yes, but
Forever.
like right now because the world is rather populated and there's no need to have like more people like if you think about it, and the societies are changing. In the past, like having children was like a good investment. Like if you're a farmer, for example, having 5 children is an amazing idea. Like both my father and my mother had 6 children in their families. I'm like, what? I have so many cousins, like I don't even need like a more extended family, although they're like tight family
Grown,
connections.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, the life is changing, and now having a child is a responsibility. Like whenever you have a child, you kind of invite a person into the world. It used to be like that, but not like that much. I think people were not as aware as right now. And when parents have children, they start having children later because women have more education. They still have like a chance to follow a career or try to build some something like some experience and build a career before they get married and fully get engaged into having children and raising kids, right? But at the same time, just having children becomes different. Like now you invest into them, but it doesn't come back to you as a as an asset because they are different people and you're not allowed to see them as your property. I think it used to be like that in the past. Like people would see their children as their property. Now it's not like that, and it's like the whole concept is changing because it's not unique to have somebody in the world, right? Because there are many people. I don't know, it's just my opinion. And yeah, it's a big question for me because I'm 33 and still have a chance. Me and my husband, we actually thought about having children by this age, but like with what's going on in the world, especially being on the territory of Russia, I'm like even more questions. I think the rest of the world even it has questions about the future and like the safety and political stability of the world and like environment and all of that. Yeah, environmental questions again. Like so many factors have changed. The internet have changed the
There are so
world.
many diseases going around right
Mm-hmm.
now,
Mm-hmm.
around across
Yeah.
all of the um, known diseases and stuff are slowly and surely coming back in our resources such as water
Mm-hmm.
and the air, things that we naturally need to survive.
Yeah, housing gets more and more expensive, so I don't
Yes.
know. Big question. So maybe we can choose to live on our own because whenever I ask some parents about like the existential crisis that we all have, right? When we think that, wow, my life is not going to be forever and how much time do I have left? When you start thinking about that, like actually, and you might have this, existential crisis and you think maybe having children is going to fix that. But like for some people, when I ask them, I think many people say, well, it helps, but it doesn't really change the situation. And sooner or later, children will become like adult people and you'll have to let them go. And, it's going to be even more difficult.
Problem.
What do you think?
Your voice disconnecting for a second. You guys having the same experience with Aziz's voice?
Oh, like chopped up?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Yes.
choppy and like fading out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, maybe we can jump to the next world.
This is because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
no, this
It's
is the
probably
mic settings.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the either you have to get close to the mic, or you have to disable the noise reduction
Mm-hmm.
from settings.
Okay, noise reduction. Default. Yeah. Anyway, I think we are ready to explore some other worlds while I'm try to
Okay.
do the microphone settings.
Let me go ahead and put a portal up right here. Okay, we're gonna go to Avatar World so you guys can play around with some Avatar. This right
Mm-hmm.
here is the best one. You can type in what type of avatar you want, and it'll pop right out. Bam, right there.
Prismatic.
Just walk right in.
Oh,
After you search.
sorry.
What you do is you go to the box right here. You guys can all type in. It doesn't matter because you get your own searches. Nobody will be able to see your search. Only you will be able to see
Mm-hmm.
your search. So each one of you can type in a name of an avatar. Make sure you uncheck exact and you check the including in description. You type in what type of avatar you want or a name right here, and you hit enter and search, and it'll pop up right here on the wall.
Yeah, this is the world where I check out these avatars. How's my sound, by the way?
You've been. It sounds perfect.
Yeah, boy.
Ooh.
Sounds perfect.
Mass Effect is one of my favorite games, so I decided to get an Asari warrior.
God, you look so good. I wish I could plan and make you feel ya.
You can actually search for avatars. Asari, just like type in Asari. You could be, you could try your own avatars. It's funny that like this was an alien race that had a very nice Goku, an African Goku. Nice. When you do the say was Super Saiyan thing, do you get blonde like they do?
Nice.
Ah! No, I don't turn blind.
It's funny. So yeah, it was just an interesting concept. How would like people from this game that I was talking about, like the way I look, the avatar. My avatar is like an one of the alien races that had like only females in their population, and they could breed with different races and with each other, which was not very preferred. And what they did is actually all the children they would have with all other races would still be Asari. Like all their children will still stay in their nation, which is curious because they were considered very wise and like educated, and at the same time like they had like a very good influence in the universe. So that was an interesting thought, that you interact with somebody who looks very similar to you, right, in terms of like 2 legs, 2 hands and stuff, but the fact that they have 1,000 years of lifespan, like and you have like 70 100 at most. It was like a very mind-boggling thought. Like, how would it be to be around somebody who has like 10 times, almost 15 times longer lifespan than what you have?
You wanna know? Okay.
What do you think? It's almost like talking about immortality, right?
I think that could be true.
yeah, the point, my view in this, it, it's cool, but the current the brain structure that uh, all the knowledge will be gathered only the beginning of the lifespan between the age of 0 to 20, and where this is a crucial part that all new knowledge can be inserted into brain, can be absorbed so easily, but after then all the hormone level will be dropped into almost zero, and that sucks, and nothing can be learned in at that age. So living in those long age, being as a dumb, useless society.
What if the lifespan is just different and you have like, let's say 200 years to acquire your initial like knowledge and development, and then move on to the next level and age? What if the hormones and like metabolism and everything is going to be different, just like longer lifespan, same as we have, but like 1,000 years?
Okay. Nephilim.
So what
Which
do you
do
think,
exist.
April?
I believe something like that does exist, and I believe it's the Nephilim's children, which could be aliens. It's crazy because look, God, I call Jehovah, but God has many different names and is worshipped differently in many different ways, which is called religion. Yeah, but He made everything, including aliens, Nephilim, and when we had the Great Flood, the purpose of the Great Flood was to wash away the Nephilim, bad things they were doing, and there were survivors. And so I can't say, I don't know. Hey, I'm just here. But there were survivors, meaning the Nephilim's children, because there were small ones and big ones, but they only spoke about the big one.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very much, and they have gifts, and they look just like me and you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they have gifts. They're normal, but they have gifts. It's crazy.
Interesting. Just imagine the situation if you had a chance to date some like creature like that. Would you?
Yep. Okay. Fun fact:
Mm-hmm.
if there were a relationship, and that person, the spouse of that special individual, happened to pay very close attention and figure out that they are special as well, they would want to continue that special. It's a human nature trait.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that would. They'd want to continue that bloodline, that specialness, that gift.
Is it transmitted through children? I wonder how that would be. Just as a speculation.
It's their blood right, or birthright.
Where's Mendes? Did we lose Mendes on the way?
He left a long time ago, girl. He got an avatar and bounced.
Now he's Goku in different worlds, I guess. Yeah, trading on different planets. Yeah, that's funny. Okay.
So that's what I really do believe, and I believe that to be true.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Honestly,
Interesting. Mylin, what do you think?
and it's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
About what specifically?
What if you had to date somebody who would live, you knew that they're going to live like 1,000 years? And the other way around, what if you were, like, if you could have like a long lifespan where you live for 1,000 years and like, you know, in good health, and, but would you date somebody who's going to die after like 60 years or 70 years like normally humans do?
Well, it's not matter for Like as a male, I could date more than one female at once. Whether it's young or old. But as long as I do contribute my power, I spend my power for things that community wants from me. Like there are things uh, that needs to be done in human history that's completely out of like maybe like physical things or any tasks that needs to be done in a research because human being needs it, and as long as I do fulfill those desires for community and help to my community or at least human being, I could do anything. I could, you know, date with anyone. But the main thing uh, comes with this as well. Uh, So it's not an issue as long as I do my stuff all the time.
So you're more focused on your stuff, right?
Nice. Okay.
Okay, interesting. I was wondering, like, I think that just immortality as a topic itself, I think it's fun. It's interesting. What if you were immortal, or maybe I think 1,000 years for a human being is could be close to immortal right now because we have shorter lifespans. What if you had 1,000 years of life and you would have like again prolonged lifespan, and but still you would be mortal in terms of like physical, invincible. I mean, you would be vincible. What's the opposite form?
Well, you got it right.
Okay, so yeah, you're not. Yeah, just including the fact that you're not invincible. How would you spend your lifetime?
How would you do, April?
Yeah. Question for both of you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What I would do, I'd honestly, and I swear, if I had 1,000 years, I would dedicate my life into teaching people how to achieve understanding through empathy. You cannot achieve understanding at all if you do not have empathy of understanding that person or that feeling. It is important. If
Oops.
you do not have empathy,
Mm-hmm.
you will not have the option to have peace. If you have empathy and understanding, you will understand that you can control your emotion to the point where you can take anger and fear and turn it into empathy, meaning you'll achieve peace. We as humans have the option and opportunity to connect through energy with each other. If we were all to able to achieve that peace, each and every one of us, we will have global peace.
Nice. That was very thoughtful. Yeah, I love it. I love this idea. Actually, this was very close to what I was thinking about. Like, to bring society and like just a collective. I see humankind. I think I mentioned in tow once in a while that I think that we stepped into the era where the internet has glued us together, and like all the knowledge that we accumulated might help us understand that we are like more of a collective organism right now, and like we really have to unite and think about moving into the future and saving our planet and our species and other species, and focusing on something creative, and like I think that could be achieved only after we overcome some really serious problems that we have in our relationships, and that happens probably like one of the reasons could be that lack of understanding of other people, and like thinking that just being more positive and more acceptive of other people could be like very big part of moving into the new future, because whenever there's new technology, people bring people into that and it's like it ruins everything. And I think that we really need to stop expanding in terms of technology and materialistic consumerism, but focus on our inner development and like finding connection with other people and other creatures, which is even more important. So I think that we don't pay attention to other species, and we see them as inferior. I think that approach as it is an indicator of something, that something is wrong. Like if we think that we're the best, that's a big question whether we are going to create something or destroy and exploit other people, other species, other even a planet and all the resources. So I think we can step into that future, and like hanging around in the metaverse is maybe part of that experience. So yeah, that's what I think. Good question, Mylin. What do you think? If you were immortal, what would you do?
Well, it's hard to know.
Evil plans? Any
Nah.
inventions?
Oh, well, the desire and need all the time change at runtime. It's hard to predict something.
I know.
Best, but I would all the time just try to do my best to spend my time properly on everything, on proper things, like those human manually stuff all the time. First, it needs to be initiated by human itself, and like building a tower or building cities. Those stuffs easy to say, like easy to order to somebody to make it, but the process, it's time consuming, and things can be too difficult during the process, and these kind of stuff needs to be all the time under control, and needs to be patiently observed and done. And yeah, just spending time and just involving in those kind of process and contribute for anything, something like this. Yeah.
What would be the best project or best maybe I would say achievement, like in your lifetime, that you would think, okay, this is something like my goal that I have achieved, and now I can like move on and maybe settle down or switch to something else. What would be the most amazing thing you want to participate in?
Well, for now, I would say, like, right now, I'm interested about uh, the diet we do have. Like, currently, most of the refined foods that we have, like white flour, um, what is that called? Wheat,
Gluten?
yeah,
Yeah.
breads,
Mm-hmm.
all of those stuff. As soon as they will be refined and they become carbohydrate, that's pure energy without vitamins. This is causing more and more diseases right now, and I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
this disease with my parents as well in the 60s. Now, uh, now just I'm responsible for those stuff to uh, give them proper diet, and what I'm saying is that what most of the time I've been consuming from market, like from uh, human-made products like fast foods, those all sucks for human being. Like that's why some becoming obese or some other stuff like having an improper body shape and being so sick. It's all of what I'm saying is that it's one of the part of the or diet. It these stuff needs to solve it as well because it's expensive when the things are too natural. I would
Yes.
first for the first time, yeah, spend my time on this stuff.
Nice, very very good choice. I am surprised actually that you chose some goal like that. I think 1 century, like, or a little bit more than that, like humankind faced like serious problems with that. Like people did not know how to exceed the limits that people reached in terms of like agriculture. The land was not able to yield more harvest and crops. And like I think that one of the chemists, he came up with an idea on how to have artificial what's that azot. Myelin, help me there. Nitrogen, yes, nitrogen, because the for plants to grow, they need nitrogen that they get from the soil, and there's a lot of it in the air, but like not, it's difficult to get it into the plants. So he came up with a solution like for this problem, and he actually solved this food crisis that was there before somewhere around industrial revolution. So it was like a very interesting. This problem has been around before, and I think we. What do you think? What would you use, like chemistry or something like genetic modifications, or how would you solve the problem with foods? Food.
I'm gonna drop a photo right here so we can.
Yeah.
Go to the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Beach.
Where's the portal? Yeah. Ooh, It's right behind me. Let's get going.
Go right in.
That's why it's.
Oh, it's not PC. It's just a Quest. Okay. Private beach for private users. I have my headset. I can actually jump in. Mylin, what about you? Do you use your headset lately? Do you have a headset, by the way?
I can't. It's out of budget charge.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, let me message her.
You can't message on this. You can invite only
What?
on this platform. That's one of the bad side of drawback.
The world is only for Quest. Book. Submit. Oops. Yeah. Note. To add a note. Okay. So every user has the add note thing, but it's just like adding some notes for yourself. Curious. Add message. I can send an invite and send message, right? Add message. Oh, standard ones only. Okay.
So far, I haven't found any option to
Yeah.
send in text message only. Just
Like to
invite
join.
are available.
Okay.
But, I'm not sure enough.
Yeah, I think that doesn't have message only invites. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Mendes just left. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have like maybe one. Let's check out one more world, and then yeah, we're good to go for today.
Hey, April.
Yeah, I think the world is only for. Yeah, the world is only for Quest. I think that one. PC. Do you have any other worlds that are? Yeah, for both.
Yes.
Great. Let's check. Yeah, that would be great. Let's check out this world, and like I'm gonna ask you one or two questions, and then I think for today we're good to go. Yeah, this is so pleasant. Thanks for coming. This is like a very cool. Yeah, for both you, April and Mylin, you support theory of everything, the way it is with 4 people. But yeah, I really appreciate that because this is like TOE is all about the people who are coming.
Like I said, if you ever need anything, I have.
Oh yeah, I definitely know where to look for places and advice. You're a pro. Yeah, let's do
A
that.
mystical forest lost in a galaxy far away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Mirrors and cafe places, tree houses, large forest areas, and more. Inspirational dreams and creativity Friends Plus. Stop a portal. This is both PC and
Mm-hmm.
Quest right here.
Oh,
Whee!
awesome. Let's go.
Do I have to hit OK every single time? Okay.
Hey.
Hey there. Okay, there are pencils.
Oh,
I think I'm stuck. Okay, suicide time. Where's April, by the way?
Hey, Fuzzy.
Nice. It was good. Like for a week or so, it was a little bit boring because I think Montenegro has only smaller cities. But the last week was so amazing because we took yachting trip and traveling by yachts and like living on a ship with three other couples was really curious. It was interesting to like there are 8 people who can fit onto the ship, and it's fun because you have to participate. You have to be like a sailor, like helping with the little equipment and all sorts of things. We had a captain, like a lady, and her husband. They both were captains, and they cooked for us like breakfast and lunches, and we traveled to different locations. It was pretty cool. I actually I've seen a guy. Do you remember the like Vitalik? What was his last name? Buterin. Do you know this guy?
Mm,
The,
the IT
yes, yes, the guy who invented Ethereum, the second to Bitcoin. Remember Ethereum, cryptocurrency. Yeah, I've seen this guy. Like, he lives in this area that is called Lushtica Bay. It's like a very small, like luxury place, and it's like all new and looks very beautiful, as if it's like old fashioned, but at the same time, it's very new. And they had some IT conference or something like that, cryptocurrency conference, and that guy actually has been there like a couple of days before we moved out, and our friends, they said that they saw him. I'm like, oh, lucky guys, and like we probably will not. But they said that he's a citizen of Montenegro, and he actually has an apartment there. I'm like, okay, it was a lucky coincidence. Okay, April is back. Yeah, and also we visited like Sveti Stefan. It's like a little island where some celebrities. It used to be like a private hotel where some celebrities traveled. I'm like, what kind of celebrities? Never heard of it. And they said, well, everybody basically. Johnny Depp, like, and Brad Pitt and Elon Musk, all of them. I'm like, what? That's curious. And just the fact that we could have like 4 ships together, they would embark on each other, tied together, and we would have like a party zone. We would go to the main ship and have like a party, like music all night, and we would not bother anybody because we were on water anchored. I'm like, this is really cool. We had like a party that was Burning Man style, like techno and Burning Man style, and we all had to prepare like the costumes and all of that. Yeah, it was fun, and like 30 people who were on the ships, we became good friends, and like we not all of them, but like it was a very nice experience in terms of a company. Like everybody were amazing. Like there was nobody you would say, oh, I don't really like them, or maybe just neutral to them. Everybody were very friendly and fun and interesting. So yeah, after coming back.
You had
Mhm.
amazing time.
Yeah, yeah. It's been like the 5th trip within the last year, like since last summer, and I'm really excited because this has been my dream like for a long time, and like for 5 years, well, with COVID and like my husband's mother dying, like I think it was like for 3 years we're not able to travel, and it was really depressing because there is no other value that I see in life other than traveling. This is like the biggest interest for me, and it was really hard. And now I think I'm going crazy after all these years. So the life is short. Gotta travel before. Well, I still can.
By the way, I'm just interested.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
uh, 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 do you live in a downtown?
Yeah, but my
An apartment?
yeah, but my city is like really small, so downtown is relatively downtown.
How often you depend on the building stuff, like living in a house or living in a room that's completely like office, like non, how can I say, non-traditional life experience. Is this
Mhm.
modern life or that you do
Mm-hmm.
face by your career, or something traditional by I mean physical side of the stuff?
Oh, good question. I think the area where I live is rather traditional, and considering the fact that there are many republics right beside each other in Caucasus, and like many of them are Muslim, where I live is like one of the few republics where it's like mostly Christian, and like people are more relaxed and like not that tense. And but where I come from, like my personal background, my family is rather like we have a lot of relatives and they all are friendly. We spent a lot of time together, so I'm more used to tradition. So my upbringing was more of a traditional, I would say. But at the same time, my particular family in this system was one of the most modern ones and like successful ones, and that's why I had more opportunity to get more education, and my father could afford to buy like some different books and like different some even musical instruments or some different stuff for me to learn and have more education. But when I hit the teenage years, the country was like a mess, like in the 90s. And like I had to, like after the 90s, the educational system was terrible because everything was corrupted. And it was really difficult to continue that life after. Like when I was entering university or something. But naturally, I would say that from my young years, I tended to have more of a liberalized, so it's both. It's both. I'm both traditional and at the same time like free in my thinking. So I accept other people being like different than me. That even we had a guy on our ships actually. We had a DJ who came with us, so he had like all music and all of that. And the first day we see him, he's wearing a sweater, like a colorful sweater, and like long earrings. I'm like, what? This is really, something that you don't see every day. We don't even see like women smoking in the area where I live, like because it's not considered something that you do publicly, right? And but at the same time, for me, this is something that I see as normal and that I enjoy when people feel free and they're not, worried about what other people are going to tell, and there's no, such pressure from the society. So yeah, I think I like both. Like not too much of that. Like sometimes people go crazy. I think especially in America when they have like this something like tolerance and stuff like that, but it's way too much, and it's like it's beyond the respect level. It's almost imposing your opinion. The minority imposes opinion on the majority, which is strange. So yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle. What about you? If I understand your question correctly.
Well, yeah, that was uh, just. I would like to just say you just brought in new ideas, but what I was leading about was my question was
Mm.
the traveling. Well, those fun part of it that that comes within a certain period of time, like 1 week or 1 month. You know, uh, uh, at the end, you get those chemicals that makes you happy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what about the rest of your life? You know, it's hard to get one so easily. Like you need to do something in order to get it. And one interesting fact or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
data I found about those uh, something that human being needs to just travel or do something
Mm-hmm.
or at least walk maybe like
Mm-hmm.
metabolism we do have uh, whenever we eat about 70% of the food will be spent only for uh, cells functions, cells metabolism,
Mm-hmm.
and about 15 is for only break down protein and breaking the uh, breaking those proteins, and about
Mm-hmm.
5% only for exercise like heavy one, and 10 about 10% will be spent for long term easy exercises. And
Mm-hmm.
in order to have an healthy life, healthy metabolism or proper metabolism, it's crucial to physically active for a long time rather than once a week or twice a week, like
Yeah.
even exercise. So what I'm trying to say is that living in a lifestyle that's completely easy to get everything, like buying anything from shop and not spending enough time for cooking and just eating and doing nothing, that comes that makes most people obese,
Yeah, look at America. It's crazy how they're,
gain weight,
yeah.
yeah, gaining weight, and although not just obese, but living in a civilized life comes in all the time with these kind of drawbacks that kills the healthy life form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I understand what you're saying. That's one of the very few pluses, basically, for me coming back into the area where I live, basically, because you can drink water, like tap water. Just open the tap and just drink a high quality water. That's one of the biggest factors, basically, that differs this area from many others, even inside our country. Lately, we've been to Montenegro, and food was really expensive and not delicious. So that steals like 40% of your experience. Unlike, for example, Thailand, when you travel to Asian countries, they're much cheaper, and in terms of food, it's much higher quality in terms of nutritional value, right? But when we returned back home, yeah, we spent like €100, which is, I think it's not cheap, but we bought like meat, a few kilograms of meat, and then poultry and fruit and all sorts of things. Like something like even a little bit exotic, something like asparagus, and which is healthy food, but we don't normally see that on the market. But it's really interesting, like a new advancement that it used to be an exotic food, but now it yeah, like to drink. Yeah, April invites us to another world. So yeah, I think basically now it has become a local food, because like some of the one of the huge companies that is local, drink beverage producer, he decided to start like farms growing asparagus and like other different things. Yeah, of course we can't grow like avocados, but still, like, you can get a healthy diet, not for cheap, but if you compare it to Europe, it's like almost like 40% cheaper or something. So in terms of having healthy diet, like I'm really trying to get into healthier lifestyle, because I really like sweets, and my husband is a terrible partner in that term, because I can't do it independently. I can't just like have a healthy diet while my husband is eating something, because I always want to join and eat something sweet. But yeah, I'm really trying to move into healthier diets, and like having more proteins and healthier ingredients, and more vegetables and all of that. And this area where I live, it has many drawbacks, because Russian politics and like economy is really unstable. But in terms of housing, cheaper housing, like better food and like better water, it's a nice area. Like you can spend some like years here. So yeah, I'm not sure I want to spend it right now, because I wish I could have more business opportunities, because it really affects my mental health. Like I really want to achieve something in my life, and leave something, not even leave something behind, like leaving a trace behind. That's definitely something I want to do. But like in terms of achievement and self, I think actualization is something that's really important for me. So the city where I live in, it has limited abilities, and especially in times of war. So really, many questions. Let's go join April. She's inviting us to another. Oh, where's the invite? Yeah, let's try to.
I'm not I'm not friend with him.
You can follow me. Let's try to do that.
Okay.
Yes, finally. Sorry, we we got carried away. Mendes. Mylin asked me about my trip to Montenegro, so I got carried away by telling him the stories. Okay.
Oh
Ozzy,
my god,
this
look at that.
is
Hi there.
this is
Hi there.
I didn't see your username.
Venusian
Oh, it's Jazz. Just call me Jazz.
Okay,
Aikido.
this
Oh,
is Jazz.
Venusian
I said
Aikido.
Hi Aikido. Nice to meet you.
I just call it, honestly, just call me. I legit forgot my VRChat name. Just call me.
Still on, right? Okay. Your voice seems a little bit familiar. Are you from Outspace as well, or?
I probably was. Yeah, I used to hang out with April a lot on there.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Let me invite Mylin as well. Send invite. Send.
What was your name on there?
Ozzy. Same. Ozzy Limitless Mind.
Ah, did you hold a?
Yeah. Theory of everything. Yeah. With Mendes.
Of course, I remember you. I remember you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Party. Well, guess
Is
what?
it still available to come through?
What do you mean?
The class over, or because we can continue our travels and
Oh yeah, that's fine. So guess what? It's theory of everything right now. We're still trying to integrate it and move it to the new platform. So like now it's our first try of VRChat. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yo.
We had a conversation about
That's pretty cool.
yeah, relationships, like, and I just asked some random questions basically. Yeah, thanks for adding me.
Oh my god, I should have been there. I just came out of a.
No problem. We can ask.
Long
I can
distance
ask you
virtual
questions right now. What do you think about? Like, I asked, like, I think 4 questions. The first question was just in general about relationships, and I asked like one question that bothered me because people in different areas have different views. So imagine you have a girlfriend or like a spouse even, and this is an interesting question. Like, what if she wants to wear some like shirt skirts and something attractive like tight clothes or something? What do you think about it? Is it okay to wear that and like clothing doesn't determine who you are and what you behave like? Or is it better to stay away from temptations and like start wearing something more modest once you start dating somebody?
Okay, is this during dating, or is this are we going to like a event together?
Yeah, dating like long-term relationships and even being married, I guess.
No, I don't see. I think if she's with me, and if she's my partner, we're like we're traditional couple.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind her wearing. I wouldn't mind her wearing attractive clothing because I know, end of the day, I think it comes down to trust.
Exactly.
And so if she's dressing in her attractive to look good, end of the day, I know she's coming home to me. And if I trust her, I shouldn't dictate to her how to dress.
Exactly.
Unless if it's something, only exception would be if she wore like deliberate, like provocative to gain other people's attention. You know what I mean, like deliberately. But if it's trust, then it goes both ways, isn't it?
I agree. It's just interesting how different people differ those things. And like, for example, I had a conversation with one of my like old friends. And he said that I would prefer to stay away from temptation. And like, it's like important for me that my girlfriend starts wearing something more modest when we are dating, because he mentioned one other factor that is like, he talked about the social opinion about it. He said, I don't want other men to think that I'm some kind
Greetings.
of... Yeah. Hi. Oh, hi, Sky, hi. Welcome to the party. We're having conversations. Yeah, so the question was about...
do a little bit to the.
Thank you.
There you go.
So yeah, we talked about it, and he mentioned the factor that it's something about peer pressure more, like that other males, like other men, his friends or brothers or whatever, they would find him weak, or like something like she's not respecting his opinion because she's wearing clothes that kind of signals to other men that, oh, see, I'm still open, I'm still available for offers or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that's a whole different factor, right?
Okay, I understand where he's getting from, and I do agree with him to a certain degree. But I think if you mentioned dating, so are we at that point a couple already? Are we like actually girlfriend boyfriend, or are we just still getting to know one another?
No, it's like it's an official period when you start dating. It's serious, and like even being married. Like I have this question to my husband as well.
I honestly, no, I don't think that's anything. I think that you'd only have to be worried about the temptation part. Is if A, you don't trust your partner, or B, you feel like she is going to be easily led on by other men, or she'll easily be. If you got that trust with someone, and like 100% trust between you and your partner, I think, I mean, I wouldn't expect her, like, I wouldn't want to dictate to her. The only way I will tell her to dictate her clothes if she's wearing clothes that are like deliberately revealing, like you're showing too much. If it's just if it's a nice dress, if it's like something, something nice that we do together, hey, no one's gonna say anything to her while I'm there anyway.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
dealing with like 6'3" here anyway. But end of the day, I wouldn't dictate. Oh, unless she would like. Only exception would be if she was wearing something deliberately risky.
It's
I think that. I think then again.
Look at Sky High.
I think
He's
it comes down to
diving
trust.
as a fish. Yeah, I agree with you.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. I thought he was just diving, and I realized he uses the avatar of a fish. So true. I agree with you. That's what I said. Like I said, well, I understand where you're coming from, but it's all about the like the way you, how do I say it? Like the prejudgments, like the judgment that you have about the person. I think that the way you behave is not the same as what you wear. Like you can wear something rather attractive. Well, another question is like, what do you think is too explicit, right? For some people, a skirt that is half thigh, half the thigh is rather explicit, and some other companies like almost having your boobs out is fine. And it also depends on the society, right? But like what I was thinking is that it doesn't really matter what I wear if I behave like correctly, if I don't, flirt with anybody, if I don't, behave in a way that it like, corrupts the trust of my partner. I think I can, like, as long as I'm there's trust in our couple, I think I can wear whatever I want, right? So yeah, this is an interesting question
I think what it comes down to, and I 100% agree with your viewpoint, I think it comes down to is how much is the respect between myself and my partner. If my partner would respect myself, and hold on a minute, I'm going out with my man, I want to look good for my man, just how I would look good for her, like whether I be wearing my suit on, whether I be wearing like, nice clothes for outside. Then that's between me and her. If she's gonna go, oh, well, okay, we're gonna go to a place, I'm gonna deliberately dress this way, deliberately to get men's attention, then that goes back to the lack of I think, with the fundamentals of any relationship down, and this is one thing I've spoke to my friends, my colleagues in the past, and my past exes, is communication. I think the communication, if there's communication and trust in that relationship between me and my partner, I know that she wouldn't do things which would deliberately
compromise.
upset me, or and vice versa. So I don't. When it comes to wearing outfits wise, I would want her to wear. If I wouldn't care what she wore. But I think when it comes to modesty, I think she would know, like, personally, like, not to wear something that's, ridiculously, like, one of those, like, boob tubes where everything's on show and stuff like that. I mean, there's obviously a limit, but it's that trust. At the end of the day, it does come to a trust between me and my partner.
Yeah.
I think...
and self-confidence.
It's just trust.
Yeah, and self-confidence, I would say.
Self-confidence.
Yeah, I told him that, like, this friend that talked about, like, relationships with other men. I would say that, like, maybe for me, if I was a man, like, if I were a man, I think if I were a man, for me, it would be another factor that, like, the way that I trust my partner and the way I feel confident about my partner's trust and, like, the way our relationships are, I wouldn't care about what other men think. It would be even better for me. Like, I'm a person who likes to show off at some point, and I would enjoy that other men like my woman, but she's with me because there's something special about me that I'm better than them, and that's why she's always with me. So that would be, like, even another
I
factor.
like the way you think. My ex, I was with 2 years. We met on Second Life.
Wow.
We did long distance for 2 years.
Metaverse relationships. That's a new experience.
Yeah, I met her through Second Life, and we got to know each other on Discord. We were video calling, and every night. But there was a club that we used to go on in World, where our avatars would look like, we would wear like the most amazing outfits. And it's a game me and her used to play where she would dress like very, very attractive, very, very, short dresses, something like that. So we can go to the club. Me and her would have fun, and we would see how many people would try and hit on one another, and like how they would message us separately. And that was like a fun game because we used to have so many guys messaging her, and they were trying to get with her and trying to get her to like leave me. And we used to find that funny. We used to send each other chat messages. Oh my god, this guy said this. This guy said, oh, this girl said this. This girl. It's a fun for me, and I truly get it from your, like you were saying, that if you were a guy, it's a thing. It's a confidence thing for me. It would boost my confidence even more. So like 10 to, I go, yes, someone is after my woman.
Yeah. I get what
likewise,
you.
it would
Yeah.
boost her confidence thinking. And so that was fun, and I get it. I get that mentality. I mean, end of the day, for me, when I'm with my woman, my future woman, available right now. But like I said, if my partner dressed really, really nice, let's say we were gonna go for a dance, to a club, to a restaurant, or we're gonna go to an event together, and she dressed up like really, really fine. And and I knew she would be getting looks at, and I would know 100%. I would trust her that she wouldn't do anything stupid anyway. Why risk our relationship for something small term, short term fun? If that communication and that trust is there with my partner, and vice versa,
Yeah.
then there's nothing to worry about. I mean, I think it just comes down to,
What if
like I said,
your partner have a kid, and kid needs to be grown by mother, and let's say in this situation, uh, this kind of this has happened. Like, would you just be angry towards your partner because she's dressed up so attractive for other men, while in the family connections?
Yeah. Do you
no,
mean?
I think I know what you. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, carry on. No, I know exactly what you're saying, because my ex did have a child, but the thing is though, how she would be, it would be like, I was talking more. She would do that kind of stuff when it was our date night between me and her. This wasn't anything when her child was in the home, or we are going to go to a family gathering with her child. Then obviously there's different kind of decorum. There's kind of it's on the setting. But if it's a date night between me and her, and we're going out, then that's different. That's between me and her. But I think it like you said, it's situational. If you have your kids with you, then obviously you wouldn't want to dress in such a way with your child around like that. But I think that's just common sense, though.
Child is not here, but the main issue here is going to be just the fact that you might lose her, and as soon as this happens, kids' life will be ruined. The kid needs to be
I
grown
know,
up.
I know what you're saying.
In
I
a
know what you're saying,
pure
but you're
family.
putting in the situation where I don't trust her, and I know that she's gonna easily destroy the relationship between me and her kid, and she's, and she because she's, she's easy, and someone else has got her, and she's doing that. But in that situation, obviously, I wouldn't be with a woman like that anyway, and second of all, I think she would be ending up losing far more than just like you said, with the child would be devastated. I would be like, I'll be done. So end of the day, she not only breaks the relationship between herself and and ruins her child, but she also like ruin a relationship with me and the child and the mother as well, because she would most likely in that situation, because it's her kid, would would break that relationship with, forcibly between me and the child as well. So it's like end of the day, it's common sense, and unfortunately, I've seen many of my friends being put in that situation where not only have they lost their ex because their ex has cheated, but they also lost access to that her child and his child, and her child. I mean, sorry. And then it's like it's common sense, and it comes down to trust. And if some people are like you said, easily led, then I wouldn't associate with those kind of women anyway, and be. Yeah, she's got far more to lose if she does that. So I understand what you're trying to say. It's just end of the day, it comes down to the communication and trust. And it's how responsible she is as a parent as well in that situation. Then, but yeah,
I like to flip the situation the other way around. I think that there's so many traditional families where there are couples, husbands and wives, and they don't get divorced, but their relationships are terrible, and the children's lives are ruined in such situations. So I don't know what's the worst, case scenario, whether to have like a full
Give me an
family.
example.
Yeah, abusive family is very simple. Like when fathers have much more power in family, like mothers sit at home, they don't have like financial powers, they don't have gradually because they get integrated
What
into.
abuse? What kind of stuff? Give me the
Uh,
example for abuse and the reason, root
domestic
of the reason.
violence and
yeah, could be
For what? For
something.
domestic
what?
violence and kind of abuse.
Yeah, well, could be as
What?
simple as hitting wife secretly once in a while, right? Or could be something more, subtle, something like gaslighting, right? Telling her what to do or maybe how to behave, like slowly but surely changing your partner's like psychological like mentality by having like little comments and like just having more financial power. I think the one who makes more money in the family controls the situation a little bit more, and it have to be very careful about that. And I've seen a lot of examples
Well,
where. Hmm? Mm-hmm.
uh, well, I, I would like to just clarify this condition. You
Yeah.
guys
Mm-hmm.
are telling that male is becomes so evil. Yes, it will, but for what specifically? Could you give, for instance, I could say my example for about my father, my data that's based on it is that I used to think in this way, like my father, by just seeing everything through my mother's eye and still being in the family and considering, oh, my father was wrong. But those abusive stuff or anything that's being evil in a family relationship is all root of it is just being how my mom just behaved so dumb and then specifically financial stuff that uh, that cut
Overspending or
some of the
something.
financial,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, for spending something that ridiculously just broke the financial stuff, and that causes specific future of our life, like our kids, like their kids, which is me, also. And
I
in this
think
kind of stuff, the evil or those stuffs will suddenly just comes in, and yeah, that's that's the way.
I
And it's
understand. Yeah,
hard to
could be
just
both.
say that those evil stuff was wrong. It you could I'm right now considering that, oh, it's not something uh, male biology, but it's and logical condition. That's it. And those stuff, I don't. For instance, I don't believe those evil stuff that comes from male. I used to believe right before, but now I'm considering with this way.
Yeah, it depends
I
on
think
experience.
what
Yeah.
we
Yeah, go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say, you make a good point there, Mylin. Uh, what you're describing is myriad of scenarios that happen in different kind of family elements. Like I come from a family where, where in my case, my father has come from a background in which he was he only followed on what his dad did. So the things he would do, which um, you could tell he wasn't a experienced enough, or he was learned enough, or he knew how to react. So he would react emotionally instead of logically. Well, my mother would have to be the one that had to pick up pick up everything, pick up after him, do all the taxes, do all the bills, do all the run the house basically. And I've seen different kind of scenarios where I think nowadays we're very lucky because we're living in a day and age now where mental health is something that we're pushing now to leaps and bounds. Personally, I was a mental health ambassador for 3 years at my university, and one thing that I really looked at was family dynamics and the way that the way modern families are now are pretty much it's changing. Everything's changing now. The way I'm going to be eventually when I have my own, when I have my wife, or when I get married one day, when I have my kids. I think one of the thing is that we're constantly being challenged on how we were raised, on how, which I do believe is a one fundamental beauty of life, is that we're constantly being challenged. Everything we do every single day is we're constantly being challenged. The more we find out about new things. So while we ourselves may have come from backgrounds which have been more, let's say restricted, or like following traditional viewpoints, or things that like the whole point about men can't speak about their mental health, and women are always men can't be emotional, only women can be emotional, all kind of stuff like that. We're constantly being challenged to try and better understand ourselves as human beings. So I think while we can only draw upon our past experiences from the way we were raised, and from our past relationships, which everything we do is always linked back to what we saw as parents, what we saw when we were kids, when our parents, and when we saw our grandparents, the way they reacted. So what we're currently doing right now is even emulated, but we're also living in a day and age now where we are thinking about, hold on, I was a kid, I went through this. Why did my dad do this? Why did my granddad do this? Why did my mother do this? Or why did my grandmother do it? It doesn't matter the gender of the parent here. This goes for everyone. And it's up to us to try and think about it as adults. Going, hold on, how would I react? Why would I react like this? What is the best way? And I think that's very, very healthy. And we need to push that kind of push that away, because kids always fear they're going to end up like their parents, especially if they had a bad childhood, and that does somehow always draw on to how the parent acts, how we act when we grow up and we become parents. But it's not necessarily good or bad, but we need to constantly challenge ourselves, because only then we will be able to better ourselves as human beings, and make sure our kids then have that healthy relationship, not between one another, but that parent and child relationship, which secretly I think we always wanted for ourselves. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling, by the way. It's just
No, it's still interesting topic anyway, because you're right. Like, I think we all have a little bit different experiences, and we always put those beliefs into the basis of our systems, and we move from that on. And I think that's changing those basic settings and defaults are hard, and that's why sometimes when you have an abusive family, for example, or maybe it doesn't really matter, the way you have your family, it basically actually determines the way you see your own family lives. And sometimes many people, they make the same mistakes as their parents do, because this is the only example they see, basically. And in many cases, they just follow their example and make the same mistakes. And I think this is, as I said, relationships, to my friend, I told him that relationships is the best way to learn about yourself. And that's actually more valuable than just being in a relationship. In my opinion, it's like the way you start, it's other people, your partners are like your mirrors. It's very interesting how you listen to other people's stories and you think, wow, I never faced a situation like they are complaining about, because they have different problems and they attract people with similar problems. And that's why I would never attract such partners with such, behaviors, because I have a totally different system of beliefs and I don't really fall into these traps, because I see the red flags right ahead and I don't even, start communicating with people. And I think for them, it's what they say is like, it's an interesting idea that we have multiple lives. And when you come to this life, you kind of have like a goal, some kind of task that you didn't solve in your last life. And this is one of the best ways to learn
100%.
something. Yeah, so to learn something about yourself and to actually change what you believe through these, painful sometimes, experiences. Because I had painful experiences with relationships, and it's not, very easy way, but this is the most effective way if you take it, like to change your beliefs and to change your systems and get to the next level where you get into healthier relationships and you get new lessons and new experiences.
That's exactly what I've recently come up, because I came out of a 2-year relationship with an older woman, and who had her kids, and it was long distance. She was in Boston. I was in the UK.
Second
so
life.
5-hour time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was in Canada for the last 6 months. I've just come back to the UK, and me and her were in a relationship where the dynamics were different, in the fact that because of her being older and having had 16 years older difference between me and her, and her having kids, whereas I don't. She had a lot of unresolved past traumas from her growing up, from her past relationships and past experiences with her family, which were unresolved, and it got to the point where you did somewhat combat one another, like, okay, why do you act like a certain way? Why do you act this way? Why do I personally? I go through logic, logic as well emotions, but I tend to be heavy on the logic side. While she was completely emotional, but she was also, because she had unresolved issues from her past, which all made things harder on me, because she was not only trying to deal with our relationship, but she was trying to also hold me to the same candle as all of her previous husbands and her exes, which had made things even more difficult for me, because I always felt on the spotlight was on me. Everything I did, everything I said, it would either trigger off like a memory from her past, which would trigger off her PTSD or her night terrors or depression periods, and which then, with my own seasonal depression, it made things hard between us, because the communication, while I constantly strive for conversation with her, when I wanted her to be there for me when I needed something, when I needed like, just comfort or something like that,
Support.
I wouldn't go to her, because she would explode on me and say, why do I be upset? So it's a very difficult dynamic, and I think, well, I'm not saying that relationship with age gaps do not work. I've seen them work with other people. It's easy, and I think I love the way you put it there, Azzy, where you said that you learn a lot coming out of those bad relationships, even though they might hurt. There's a reason why they didn't work, and it rewires your brain. There's so many things you learn from them, which challenges your own beliefs. And then going to your next relationship, once you've healed from the past one, which I think is vital. Many people make the mistake where they come out of a long term and they quickly jump into another one without letting the trauma